Hello everybody, Wilfrey here, and welcome back to another Pokemon challenge. Last time I did a video on Pokemon Red trying to beat it with only a Psyduck, and it was a success. For today's challenge, I would like to see if I can beat Pokemon Emerald with only Mudkip. Mudkip is an adorable Pokemon, and it was actually the first Pokemon I ever had. It has some pretty decent stats, mostly physically offensive, but in Gen 3, water is special so he won't be hitting that hard. But we will see how it all plays out. I wrote this script before the challenge, so everything in this part is written before I even started. I think I can beat the Elite 4 and Champion, but I don't see myself beating Steven unless I am really lucky. At the end, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe to know that you like this content, and if not, leave a comment and that way I'll know that you didn't like it. Let me explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Mudkip. I'll use other Pokemon for HM, but they won't be used for battles. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of battle will be allowed. Now let's get started. I started the game normally as it is and picked Mudkip. I named him Copy, in honor of my first Mudkip. It's adamant nature, so more attack and less special attack. It's good in a way, but his water stat won't be that strong. First trainer battle, and it was quick since I crit it with Tackle. Also, Mudkip leveled up and learned Mud Slap, a ground type move that I will be using until I get Dig. On my way, battling Mudkip learned Water Gun, and I caught a bunch of Zigzagoon since they have the pickup ability and will save me some money by sometimes getting me useful things. After I captured the Zigzagoons, I wanted to say that in the way there will be a mandatory level battle, which is the gym of Tate and Liza, so in which case I'm gonna put the Zigzagoons in the bots and capture a Magikarp. Since it's a useless Pokemon, it will have no effect on the battle, and that way I won't break any rules. Time to face Roxanne, and her Doodoos were easy to take out with Water Gun, and it took a while to beat Nosepass, but eventually I defeated her and got my first badge. On my way to the cave where I need to save Mr. Brini's Wingull, I see that the cave is all foggy and I cannot see. Maybe it's a bug or something wrong with the game, but I hope that not all caves will be like this. I went to fight the rival after saving the Wingull, and I was outmatched. Her Wingull used Supersonic, and with my luck, Mudkip hit himself a lot of times, and when Wingull went out, we were at half HP and still confused. Also, he grabbed at me, lowering my attack, making this fight impossible, and lost. I tried again, and this time I didn't get confused, but Wingull did use Growl. Luckily, Trickle didn't do that much damage with Absorb, so I ended up winning. Time to face Brawly, and his Pokemon weren't taking that much damage with Water Gun, and unfortunately the Orange Berry was used before defeating his matchup. Then came his Meditite, and instead of going for something useful, it was only using Focus Punch since it's the only attacking move it has. And I know that I could beat his Makuhita, but him having a Health Berry and using Vital Throw made it hard for me to beat him. Second time against Brawly, and this time his matchup didn't make Mudkip use the Orange Berry, and I took it out easily. And when Makuhita came out, it was fairly healthy, and it was a really close one since he did recover a lot with his berry, but I ended up beating him with only 4 health. Next fight against my rival, and I took out Wingull being fairly healthy, but then came Grovyle and hit me with Absorb, putting me in less than half HP, and I missed Takedown. Then she went again with Absorb, but this time it did less damage, and I managed to hit Takedown, almost going down as well, being in 4 HP, and then I took her Slugma with just 1 Water Gun and got the win. The first fight against Wally was so easy since I'm already overleveled that I can just one-shot his walls with just Tackle. I decided to face Watson at level 35, but it didn't came close to doing anything since his Voltorb only went down because it used Self-Destruct doing a big amount of damage, and then his Electric took me out. After that, I went to the Windstraight house and got the Matcha Brace, giving it to Mudkip. It will make him slower, but it will raise his effort values. The second time against Watson, and it went the same as the first time, but I got paralyzed before Voltorb choke himself out. I was able to take out Electric, but Mudkip wasn't a match for Magneton. In mid-fight, Mudkip hit level 37 and replaced Tackle with Protect. I know that I won't beat Watson just yet, so I ran it on every remaining trainer and then keep going against the wild Pokemon. Midway through grinding, Mudkip learned Hydro Pump, and I will keep it until I get Surf. The grind is really slow since the wild Pokemon are giving me a lot of experience. I tried again against Watson at level 44, but I got instantly paralyzed thanks to Voltorb. But I'm seeing that the damage is growing a lot, so I think if I don't get paralyzed, then I can win. This time, Voltorb went for self-destruct and it took a lot of HP out of Mudkip. But I managed to reach his mini trick, but I still lost. Maybe if I reach level 45 or level 46, I might be able to win. So I'll grind a little more. Went back at level 45 and was lucky that I didn't take much damage and one-shotted everything before mini trick. I used Mustard Slap against him, but it didn't take even half of his health and he was hitting very hard. I was lucky that he didn't take me out, leaving me with 14 HP, and then I beat it mini trick, getting me the win. Also, the fog problem I had earlier at Rusturf Tunnel is happening at the fire gym. I found out there's a problem with the emulator, so it means that in this area I'll search on Google for a map so I don't end up walking endlessly wasting my time. Time to face Flannery, and I just went for Dick since I will be outspeeding all of her Pokemon, but her Turkle is very defensive and survived attack, and used Body Slam, paralyzing Mudkip, and he was doing some damage to us, but eventually Hydro Pump hit and I got the win. I went to Norman's gym and his Pokemon were easy to take out, but most importantly, the reason I wanted Dig is for slacking, since with how overleveled Mudkip is, I can make him go underground to dodge an attack and Nestor give him damage without worrying to get hit, since his ability makes him do damage every other turn. And it was convenient for me, even though I won, it took a while to bring Siakam down. Also, after beating Jim, I instantly get the HM for Surf and give it to Mudkip for a better water type move. Now that I have Surf, I make my way to the abandoned ship and got the TM for Ice Beam. A good ice type move, and even though Mudkip's special attack isn't that good, it's going to give us some nice type coverage. I also helped the guy in the cave to see his girl and got the HM first string, and I also gave it to Mudkip. After beating the Aqua Grunts in the Weather Institute, I got the Mystic Water from Cast Form, and I gave it to Mudkip so it can have a boost while using Surf. Rival fight time, and it was easier than expected since I just one-shotted her whole team. I thought that Grovyle would just outspeed us, but he didn't, so I got an easy win. Time to face Winona, and it was a fairly easy fight except when her Pelipper came out. Since I didn't one-shot it, it confused me, and while I'm trying to attack, she just uses Protect or just hitting myself in confusion, being a pretty annoying battle. Time to face Maxie at the Magma Hideout, and his Mightyena having Intimidate is really bad, but I took it out easily with one Surf. And then came Crobat, and he is faster but wasn't doing too much damage, and he survived an Ice Beam. A second Ice Beam took it out, and then came Kimbrel, and with just one Surf, I beat it Maxie. Here comes the hard part, facing Tate and Lysa. This gym is concentrated on double battle, so for me to not break the rules, I'll be using a Magikarp and only use Dash since it's completely useless. But it's harder than expected since Mudkip is not strong enough to take out any of their Pokemon in one shot, and getting attacked by two Pokemon is a little too much, so I get taken out on the first try. Second try, and I use Ice Beam to take out Saldu first, but I wasn't still a match for the rest of her Pokemon, so I was taken out easily. Third try, and I tried going for Surf again to try and take both Pokemon out, but I wasn't doing enough damage. I took out Claydol, but then came Solrock and used Sunny Day, making Surf weaker, so I was taken out. I came back at level 34, and even though I still didn't one-shot their Pokemon, I was close, and I didn't take a lot of damage in return. Then came Solrock, and they were wasting Hyper Potions on Claydol, and Solrock went down. Then came Lunatone, and I was still at a disadvantage. They both survived Surf, and Lunatone used Hypnosis, putting Mudkip to sleep. I was very close to losing there, but I was lucky and woke up in the perfect moment to take both Pokemon out and win the fight. Double fight at the Mudkip Space Center with Steven, and this was a cakewalk since I used Surf to take both Pokemon at the same time. It took a while, but I eventually beat them all. I found the scene where you look for requests to stop Kyogre and Grundle very funny since you always get there before him. Like, how come a normal Pokemon controlled by a child be faster than a legendary dragon? Time to face Gym Leader Juan, and I was able to take out his whole team with strength. I did receive some damage from him, but it wasn't that much, so I got an easy win. The fight against Wally was easier than expected since I took out his team with one attack each. I hope the Elite Four will be as easy to take out as this. I hit level 80 before the Elite Four. I think I can win, but it'll be a hard fight, so please wish me luck. First fight against Elite Four member Sydney was really easy, but it took a few hits to take his chrono out, but I got the win. My first try against Phoebe went bad since I got confused and did lots of damage to myself, and I was later taken out by her last DOS clubs. I was so close. Second try, and I got cursed, so it was a sure loss instantly. Third try, and I got confused and hit myself a lot of times until I got to 7 HP, but at the end I was able to take out the rest of her team. Time to face Glacia, and it was brutal since her Pokemon are really tanky, and I was taken out by her Glalie using Explosion on me. Third try, and I got to her Whirlwind, but it paralyzed me with Body Slam and ended up taking me out. I decided to grind for a while to around level 90 to see if I could take Glacia out. But it didn't happen. These were a few tries after I hit level 91, and I was still taken out. Note that these are just a few of all the tries that I did, but almost every time it was playing around the same, with her last Glalie taking me out with Explosion. If one of these tries, I almost took her Walrein out, but it just left him in red health, and I was taken out with Surf. I tried lots of time, and even got mad on one of them where I ended up winning, but I didn't record it. After that, I decided to grind up to level 100 to see how it plays out. After getting to level 100, I ended up taking her Pokemon very easily. It feels so good after a while of losing to take her whole team very easily in this way. The fight against Drake was easy since his Pokemon are Dragon types and I can just use Ice Beam. His Kingdra was an issue since it resists all of my moves and it started setting up on me with Dragon Dance. It used Mokri to reduce my accuracy, but I was lucky to take out the rest of the team without taking that much damage. Time to face the champion, and even though his Pokemon are all water types, I didn't have that hard of a time. I did need to use 2 moves on each of his Pokemon, but this fight ended up being easier than the one with Glacia, and I ended up winning the game, becoming the champion, but it doesn't end there. Even though I still became the champion, there's still one fight I can do after this, so I went right for it. It's a fight against the ex-champion Steven. This will be really hard, so I will only do it for a few tries. On my first try, I got Toxic, so that's an automatic loss. Second try in, and even though Skarmory didn't use Toxic, his Credility used Giga Drain and took me out easily. Third try, and I didn't got Poison nor Giga Drain, but I did got confused and was unable to take his Claydol out. Fourth try, and I gave Iron Tail to see how much damage it will do to his Credility, but it doesn't one-shot it, so it's not that worth it. I got to his Metagross, but thanks to confusion luck, I got hit by myself and lost. Fifth try, and Skarmory used Toxin, so it's an obvious that this is going to be a loss. Sixth and final try, and it didn't get Poison nor Giga Drain, but his Claydol survived Surf, and it took a while to take out. Then came Metagross, and it didn't even took half of its HP with Dick, and it was a loss. So I can say that it's possible to beat Pokemon Emerald with only a Mudkip, but it will be really hard to defeat Steven unless you are really lucky. The challenge was fun, but some opponents were really annoying to take out. For the next challenge, I might try to do something in Pokemon Gold. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you did. And other than that, wait for you, and I'll see you in the next video.